we go. Here's Kyle Kalinske from Secular Talk, a channel that I've been watching for a very long time.
This is a huge story in a world that makes sense. You all know that this world doesn't make sense. You all know our media is broken, and they will never focus on the things they should focus on. Their outrage meter is not calibrated properly. There's going to be more talk about, the royal family and how racist they are, and how Harry's talking about his frostbitten dick and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That will get way more coverage than a story like this will ever.
He did release a book or whatever.
But it shouldn't be like that. So
very weird.
The U.S. drops an average of 46 bombs a day.
Guys, think about that. 46 bombs a day? What fucking war is going on right now that we need to drop 46 bombs a day? What's going on? Aliens attacking? The Thanos? The Thanos come to Earth? Are there zombies? Zombie outbreak going on? Is COVID turning people into zombies and there's like bombs being dropped? What's going on? It's not a war. This is just bullshit little skirmishes that our country's doing, wasting our taxpayer money, attacking innocent people. We should leave them alone. We're not the world police. That's my point. We shouldn't be the world police. We make people angry when we do that. We should worry about our own fucking country, our allies. You know what I mean? And yeah, you don't worry about China or whatever, but like...
Sit on that for a minute.
These people ain't China.
Why should the world see us as a force for peace? So the U.S. has dropped 337,000 bombs.
337,000!
Let me ask you all a question.
In 20 years.
How much do you think that cost? 337,000 bombs. And what else could we have put that money towards?
Yeah.
And putting aside the actual financial cost of it, how many lives?
Yeah, exactly.
Have been terminated as
not only the lives of these innocent people or just other people that were nearby where the bomb was, or because they don't only kill the bad guys. You know what I mean? There always are casualties of innocent people. So just imagine the casualties of all the innocent people that died and of our soldiers. Because I'm anti-war, not because I hate the soldiers. I don't want you guys to die. I don't want people to die. I'm anti-war. I'm anti-violence. I love life. You know what I mean? Why are we doing this?
Of this, and how many of those people were innocent? All right, let me give you some of the specifics. The Pentagon.
So look, let me just bring up the comment. One of the comments that I was talking about, okay? This dummy right here, Aaron Stites. The only thing cringe here is your take on the military and your immediate reaction to equate the German language with fascism. Because I was making fun of Steven Crowder, basically doing like an Austrian, I don't know, fucking like Nazi type voice. You know, just making a joke. And this dude got him out. And also, Steven Crowder probably is racist. Very, very likely he is a little fashy. But he's just smart enough to not say it out loud. You know what I mean? So, sorry. What I want to do is I want to look up. I replied to him. Yeah, Steven's a bigot, fascist, racist, and a theater kid. So he could be playing the failed theater kid turned fascist very well. So I said right there, he could be lying about it. He could be faking the racist shit, the anti-trans shit. There was literally an episode where Steven Crowder was literally like, oh, Hitler's right. Hitler's right about not liking trans people, because he did that. You know what I mean? Like saying that the burning of the library with all the trans knowledge was okay and all that. So that right there is really fascist. Right there. So that's why I call him fascist. He's a fucking pig. Also, if you are a soldier, you literally murder or work on murder weapons, right? That's what I wrote. When most of the people in power get us into useless wars for oil or just maintain dominance in a region, you, the soldier, is still involved. My point still stands. Keep sucking off the troops. That's what I said. And I think that's a good point, right? I think that's a perfect point. My point still stands. If you're a soldier, you're under the command of the corrupt. So either way, you're still a dick. But there are soldiers like I don't hate all soldiers, okay? Because like there are plenty of soldiers that are anti-war. Like for example, Bernie Sanders literally got a majority of his donations from the military, from like military people, families, because they don't want to be in the Middle East bombing brown people. They don't want to do that. You know what I mean? They want to be home. They want to be like in fucking a camp near home or a military base chilling. We don't need to be the world police.
Has finally published
That's
its
my
first
point.
air power summary since President Biden took office nearly a year ago. These monthly reports have been published since 2007 to document the number of bombs and missiles dropped by U.S.-led air forces in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria since 2004. Okay, so by the way, pausing here for a second, this is not all the bombs we dropped.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
not.
just Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria. Because a lot of people don't know this, but there's what's called a shadow war
Shadow
going on in
wars,
Africa
yep.
right now. We're bombing in Somalia, for example.
Yep.
We're aiding in the bombing of Yemen. Saudi Arabia is leading the charge on that one.
Yep.
But we're right there to help them and assist them. So there's still other countries that we're also bombing that are not.
This is what I mean. We're literally still selling Saudi Arabia, which I mentioned. The prince killed Jamal Khashoggi. They beheaded him. They hid his body. Biden doesn't want to prosecute. We're also selling weapons to Saudi Arabia, and they're destroying Yemen. Okay, war crime. Literally, the human rights organizations have come out and said this shit's a war crime, and America's still sending them weapons because it's all about the fucking money.
So 46 bombs a day is a bare minimum. It is definitely more than that. They continue, but President Trump stopped publishing them after February 2020, shrouding continued U.S. bombing in secrecy. Okay, so this is interesting and something I recall back from the Trump era, that one of the things he did is he was like, we don't want to have any transparency at all. So just like stop reporting on things that there are rules you have to report around. And so there are consequences to that. Well, now at least Biden brought back the transparency. That is certainly damning with faint praise. Over the past 20 years, as documented in the table below, U.S. and allied air forces have dropped more than 337,000 bombs and missiles on other countries. That's an average of 46 strikes per day for 20 years.
Woo!
This endless bombardment has not only been deadly and devastating for its victims, but it's broadly recognized as seriously undermining international peace and security and diminishing America's standing in the world. Yes, an important point to make about this, which nobody else will make, is if you believe in law and order, you have to be against this. Why? Because what we're doing is illegal.
Yeah.
Under international law.
That's what I'm saying.
What we're doing would get any other country dragged in front of the International Criminal Court, and there would be punishment. There would be consequences.
Yep.
But since we view ourselves as a nation above nature...
You see this shit, Aaron Seitz? Or whatever the fuck your name is? Aaron Seitz, pay the fuck attention. You obviously gotta be schooled on like topics, because you're like Aiden Ross IQ, I guess. I don't know who you are, fucking Aaron. AA Ron. Yo, AA Ron. Go back to school, AA Ron. AA Ron Sites right here. Dummy.
And not a nation among nations.
Watch my streams more. You'll learn a little bit.
Disregard. The U.S. government and political establishment have been remarkably successful at keeping the American public in the dark about the horrific consequences of these long-term campaigns of mass destruction.
Goddamn AA
allowing them
Ron.
to maintain the illusion of U.S. militarism as a force for good in the world in their domestic political rhetoric. Yeah, and not only that, we wasted $7 trillion in Iraq when all is said and done. We've wasted over $2 trillion in Afghanistan.
$7 trillion in Iraq, guys. You can give every American health care with that money. You can give every child food, shelter, whatever. You can do so fucking much. You can do so much. You can change our infrastructure. You can change every fucking wooden pylon thing to like a really cool solar pylon thing, or like change our roads or our cars, or change everything into like electricity or like nuclear power plants or thorium, or invest it into like salt water extraction, or like you can do so fucking much with this money. But we just throw it away. We literally burn it for weapons. We burn it for weapons.